Hey everybody, hello. Hello, hello. How's everybody doing today? Say hi when you come in. I'm going to do a finishing wax treatment on the piece that I painted yesterday with Karen. So I thought it would be fun for all of you to kind of watch how it changes from this to the finishing waxes. So I just went ahead and pulled out all of my waxes because I'm not sure what colors I want to use yet. I may do a little accent colors as well. So I'm going to kind of just play around, and I thought you guys might like to come along and watch. Hello, Athena and Angela are here. Hello, hello, everybody. Let me just do a really fast recap. So, the little cabinet, this is a bedside table. So, it was painted with two colors. I painted with, let's see, Queen Bee first, and then I did a highlight blend in the middle, brighter with liquid sunshine. So it's like a golden, be like more of a golden yellow, and then the bright yellow in all the middle parts. So that's what I did. If you missed all of the florals that I painted, I did a floral painting up on the top, and it comes down and it comes around the front and down one leg. You can watch that on YouTube. I did that, was that yesterday? What is this? Yeah, it was yesterday with Karen. So you can watch that on my YouTube channel. And then today I'm going to finish it. So first of all, I'm going to start, and everything I've used is the DIY paint products, which I actually sell. So if you want to do this on your own, you can get your products. So, okay. Hi, Tammy. How are you? Good to see you. So the first thing I'm going to start with is my DIY clear. And I'll let you see how it changes just with the clear. See how it changes and it gets really dark. So I like to start with my clear wax first because it's very porous. The paint is very, well, I shouldn't say porous, but a little porous, but it's matte. It's a matte finish, and it has clay in it. So I always say, when you're playing with clay and the clay is wet, it gets darker, and then as it dries, it lightens up. So it's kind of that same kind of a thing, right? Oh, I do want to mention, I did go ahead and lightly sanded this before. You don't have to, but I wanted to distress it a little bit and smooth it a little bit. So I also wanted to sand it, and I wanted to sand some of the details of the florals because I wanted the florals to be very faded and muted and more abstract. So, a lot of times I do the wet distressing with all of you guys, right? Normally I do, but I will tell you, when you wet distress, like if I would have used wet distressing on my flowers, because the paint reactivates when you get it wet, it had the potential of smearing the color of the flowers. So I did not want to smear it. So I sanded it really well, and then I brushed it, got the dust all away, and then I went over it with a cloth. Okay? Are there any questions about that? Maybe I should have done that live, but I think you guys kind of get the gist, right? I have a lot of really cool projects that I'm going to be painting too. So some will be with you, and then some of my stuff I'll probably be doing with my art group. So that'll be fun. I'm kind of excited to get started on these projects. I already did the top, so just to save us a little bit of time. Here's the front. Hi, Kimberly. Caught me again, didn't ya? Hey, you guys, thank you so much for spreading the love and the shares and all that good stuff. So as of yesterday, I could not get I could not get the drawers open, but I got them. I got them open. So you just have to work at it a little bit. A lot of times I will paint with the drawers already on and closed, especially when I'm doing a blending, because you kind of want it to, you don't want it to start and stop, right? If you take the drawers out when you're doing a blending paint finish, then it won't look like it was kind of aged that way. So when we are aging things and painting in this way, it's beneficial sometimes just to leave those drawers in for that reason. Okay, I'm getting this all really good. This first coat is just sucking it right up. This will be a nice sealer. The waxes will do a seal. I always tell people, if you have a I call a high traffic item, so if you're going to get a lot of wear and tear on this, I would do a clear coat first, because a clear coat's going to give you a hard finish. Wax is a little bit softer finish, so you may have to re-wax like a few years down the road, or even just the top. You could refinish the top just to give it a little extra protection. But this is probably not going to be a real highly used item. It's going to be in my room, so it's not like it's going to be in my living room. Although it would be cute in the living room, though. Who knows? I guess I could always reapply hard coat if I wanted. I mean, it's good to do it after you might want to lightly sand it if you have wax on there. Hey, hello, Miss Carrie Fox in the house. Tanya Cribs in the house. She says, "Oh, I have a trick for that. Gently use a rubber mallet and boom." I have been beating this with a rubber mallet, and it did not work, which I was surprised. It normally does. So what I did was I just took a really thin paint scraper and started scraping it all around the edges. And so, which is fine with this piece. Now, if this was a really nicely, like, one coat, finely painted piece where I did not want it to be distressed, I would have had to touch up. But it just so happens I was distressing it anyway, so it worked to my favor. So that's something you want to think about. All right. I love these colors together. They're really pretty. So it's very, it really does look like it's aged. It kind of reminds me of like a Mexican kind of finish. Let me show you over here. Let me turn this. There's no design over here, but you might be able to see the difference in the color. Isn't that cool? I'm gonna go ahead and work this in. I'm pushing pretty hard. I want to work that in. Waxing is not my favorite thing, guys, but it is so beautiful. But it's not my favorite thing to do. I actually, I probably like to glaze a little bit more sometimes, I guess. But glazing is not as soft as wax. It's a little more textured. So I'll have to do a glazing project for you guys sometime. Would you like that? I think I have a tutorial too that teaches you some glazing. I think. Yes, I do. Good deal. I love the colors. So the base coat on this was actually a dark black, And so as I sanded a little bit of it, you can see like little hints of that black coming out, which I really like. It's pretty cool. Let's see. So beautiful, joyful. Yes, I think so too. Carrie Fox, turn piece upside down. Work bottom drawer first. Then you have I know, but normally you would, but this has like a panel in between. I mean, literally, I could, like, I was no win, but I just worked at it. I got it. But yeah, I was thinking that too. I was like, I can just get this bottom one. I could get my hand up in there, but yeah, there's another panel. This is back in the day when they made stuff really, really well. All right, so I got my clear all on there. I'm all out of breath now. I'm out of shape, guys. I gotta start working out more than waxing. Kimberly, you may have already answered this. I'm driving in traffic, but I never know how to choose which way to seal my piece. How do you decide when to use wax, or do you always? Okay, so yeah, I was just saying, so if you have a high traffic item, okay, so, or area, so I consider kitchens and bathrooms high traffic. I consider like a main coffee table probably high traffic if it's in a home with children, okay? So if it's just a little side table in a bedroom or a spare room or office, that's going to be a lower traffic. Hutch is probably going to be a lower traffic item. You know, so just think about when and where you use the item. If there's a lot of moisture in that room, like in a bathroom, I would probably hard seal it. Now you can hard seal everything, and then you can use waxes on top of it if you like that soft look that like antiquing wax does, or colored waxes. You could totally do that. So, and then you'd have your hard coat under it. What would happen is if you down the road, throughout the year or two, if you use cleaners on it and degrease the wax off, you may need to re-wax, but maybe not. It just depends on what you use and how you use it. But yeah, kitchen table, definitely high traffic item. Hello, my Michelle. Hello, Christine. Michelle's getting ready to do a piece in Queen Bee. Woohoo! Yeah, so pretty, right? I'm really happy. So it's a little splotchy looking right now because it's wet. You can kind of see the splotchiness. It'll even out as it dries. This is kind of one of those little things that you need to know when you start using the DIY paint. This is very different, I think, than a lot of other of the chalky paints that are out there, because there is no latex or acrylic in this, okay? It's very earthy. It's all earthy. It absorbs and it moves, and it changes color as it gets moisture on it. So you do need to think about that when you first start using it, because I don't want you to get afraid and scared that you're doing something wrong. So it will be, you know, a little uneven as it's drying, okay? All right, so let's go back around. I really need wheels. I have wheels. I need to get it out so I can spin my stuff a little bit easier, huh? All right, so what do I want to do first? This is what I'm not sure. I might want to play. Let's turn around. Okay. I think I'm going to play a little bit, and you guys let me know what you like. So this is the DIY wax called Shipwrecked. It is a finishing wax that is a beautiful turquoise color. It's very reminiscent of the color Mermaid Tail. So I don't know, probably they have made Mermaid Tail the color of this is what it looks to be to me, or something very close. So I'm going to, and I have a wax brush for every color that I use, and then what I do is I normally put them in baggies because you want to keep them moist. and then they'll stay a little bit nicer. So I don't know if I'm gonna like this. So you guys can watch, and I want to hit my. I'm thinking about hitting just all the detail, and then I'm gonna kind of just look and see if I like it. Can you guys see it? Hope you guys can see that. Let me pull it in. Boy, the flowers really richened up, didn't it? You see it better? Grab all the. Oh, thanks, Michelle. Michelle's dropping the links for you. She's so sweet. So, do you guys like this? I debated on. I may add some dark wax too, so just to grunge it up a little bit. I'm not hating it. I am not hating it, guys, at all. Any input on it? What do y'all think? Should I go for it or not? I do like how it is inset in the drawers a little bit. Let me see if I can take it off here to give you guys a little bit closer. Can you see that? Hello, Miss Casey. How are you? Go for it. There's a little bit of a delay, but this kind of gives you, it really does. I think I like it. So I'm gonna go for it. Now, like, let's say that, let's just pretend, let's say I was like, ooh, no, I don't like that, or it's too much, or whatever. I could take my little clear and I could just kind of like if I want to wipe it off of the high parts, I'll just kind of remove it off of the high parts. If you look, it kind of came off a little bit. Looks better up close. Yeah. It's very subtle, but I do kind of like it. It's a very boho vibe. What are you all getting into today? I can't be the only one painting. I just can't be. I want to get these little knobs really good. All mushed in there. And especially want to get it in. I want to put it right where the detailing is, I think, mostly. Just want to say thank you for taking time, sharing your talent. You are so welcome. Love your energy. Thank you. That's good because I was feeling like this time of day, I'm always like ready for my afternoon coffee and I haven't had it yet. So, so then there's that. I do like it in the little grooves. I do. Okay. I'm going to add it to the legs. Anywhere there's detail is kind of where I'm putting it. I'm probably not going to do the entire thing. I'm just going to kind of accent the detail. Ouch. And hit my finger. Okay. I have lint-free rag, by the way. Get those little cute little legs. I knew this piece was going to be super cute when I got it done. I have another one exactly like this, and so I will do another one to sell it. Or, I mean, if anybody wants this one, I can sell this one and make another one, I guess. But, yeah, I do have another one. This is my sample one, I guess. Might do the other one different. I don't know. All right. Yeah. And the little details. So I'm going to go around the lip. Up here. There's some detail up here. Have fun with these colors, though, you guys, because they're just, you can use like the same color so many times, but mixing it with other waxes and items, you just get like such a different look every time. It's so cool. So I urge you guys to, I challenge you, I guess, to have fun with some of these and try out some color combinations of your own and see what happens. Oh, that's pretty. Yeah, I'm debating on whether I want to add any dark wax to it. I want to just leave it like this. So pretty. Can you guys see the top? You can't. Let's see if I can bend it. You see the top? All of that turquoise that I put around. Mixed media project. It's a rainy and cold. Haven't been doing much. Yeah, that weather, when the weather gets like that, it kind of, it's when it's like Netflix day, right? Netflix and pizza. And this will kind of slightly lighten as it dries. Okay. Start rubbing a little bit of that. Oh, I really like this, the top of this. It's so funny because sometimes until I get the wax on it, like with this one, can you see it? Whoops. Can you see all the just from the brush strokes and stuff? I know it's still wet, but once I start waxing it, I just love it even more. Sometimes I'm kind of like, yeah, I don't know if I like those two colors. And once you get that wax on, man, that's when, like I said, it kind of makes the magic happen when you do that. Okay. So there's that. I think, I don't know how much I'm going to put on these sides. Just do a little bit in the crevices. And then, what do you think? Should I add a little bit of dark wax too? Try a little section just to see. All right. So I'm going right in and wiping it, and the reason I'm doing that is it's just kind of controlling it a little bit. You want to wipe it back out and off while it's still wet. And that way you can kind of step back and eyeball it. And if you want to change things, you have time to change it. Oh, I really do like it. So much better than it was. Okay, it looks like I missed an area. Let's see, let me grab. There it is. I missed. You can kind of tell if you missed an area because it's that different color, right? It's not as deep and rich, right? So there's a strip right there that I did not get the clear on. So I'm just gonna reapply that. All right, I don't know. I'm gonna try a little bit of more waxes. I don't know. I may do a little white wax and a little dark wax. I'm just going to dark wax to this just to age it a little bit. Maybe age some of these flowers a little bit. I don't want to completely cover all the blue that I just put in. So I'm just going to use kid gloves right here. And I want the flowers more muted. I'm going to start rubbing that in. If y'all have questions, just don't hesitate to ask, okay? This is kind of why I do these. All right, let's see. Let's see what happens if we add a little white wax in right in the middle. It's just, let's clear. I'll just use my clear. My clear brush. Give it that dreamy kind of feel. I'll turn it in a minute so y'all can see, and we'll do the front together. I'm going to be, oh, thanks. Thanks, Maureen. All right. So now, get my rag back out. It's getting kind of, it's getting kind of used. So what I like to do is, so I'm wiping it, see how dirty it is here? So I'll flip it and I'll find this nice little clean area. And I'll start working that again. Oh, it's nice because the blue still is showing. So I was a little concerned that not the blue, but the turquoise wax. Really just turning it into pretty vintage. Once it dries too, I'll get the finished pictures. So then you'll be able to really see what it looks like in real life versus trying to see on camera. I know it's a little difficult. But mixing, don't be afraid to mix these waxes either, guys. Okay? You can see how soft, even though everything's still drying, you can see how it kind of softened and muted some of those florals. Okay. This was a fun little piece. So if you could see what the top is looking like. You may not even, I don't even think you're able to see the white that I added, but you can definitely see it. Almost gives it like a film, almost like a, just a slightly white, I guess, kind of a film, just very, very faintly. So I like that. All right, back to my colored wax. I'm gonna be real careful. I don't want to get too much, but put some of that in there. I'm just gonna go like around the edges, I think. Getting those corners really good, because that's where it would get kind of grimy throughout the years, right? Maybe where people have touched it and put their hands. It's kind of the magic part of it all, guys. There's that. I'm going to go ahead and pull some of that back off. For you. And then what you'll do, for those of you that are newer to this, we'll get it kind of where we want it as far as application wise. And then we let it dry and it cures. And then you come back in like the next day and you give it a really good buff. And it just gives it just this nice soft sheen. Silky kind of a sheen. I guess it's going to look so cute in my bedroom. I'm going to have to do a picture for y'all. Thank you. Thank you, guys. That's so nice. You all inspire me too. Can I just tell you? But it's going to be cute. My bedroom is very, I've got this, it's kind of like this, I guess it looks like a boho-ish rug. Has all these colors in it. It's going to pop. Pretty. All right, so this is where we can add a little bit of white if we want. It just looks like it's aged throughout the years. I was thinking one day, I was like, why is it I like all the stuff that I do? You ever wonder, like, how did I start? Like, how did you get your style? Do you know how you got your style? Those of you that are watching, tell me, type in the comment section, how do you think you got your style? So I'm sitting there thinking about that. And then later on that night, I'm like, I don't know, I think I was watching Friends. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is kind of like my style. All the colors, they always had all the colors and very eclectic mix of vintage pieces in their house. You guys remember Friends? And then I saw an advertisement for, gosh, was it Pretty in Pink? And I was like, oh my gosh. I'm like, yes, I watched all of Molly Ringwald's shows growing up. Like, I loved her. She was my spirit animal. I loved her. And like that girl, she was all about upcycling. She was all about vintage and colors and mixing and matching. And like, if this piece doesn't look like it belongs in Molly Ringwald's room, I don't know whose, right? So tell me where you think that you first got your inspiration for the style that you like. Um, I think that's where I got it from. All right, let's do this side. Or do you know? You may not know. You may still be thinking about that for a while. But it just dawned on me. I was like, you know what? That's got to be, totally has to be where I got that love for that. I'm going all around. There we go. Hit it in the middle with the white. You guys still thinking about it? I know, it might take you a while. Didn't you love it when you're painting and you kind of get to where you're like almost done and you go down under and then you're like, oh crap, there's a whole leg I forgot to paint on the inside. I've done that so many times. Anybody else? Those of you that are furniture painters? What makes it really bad is if you go to like a piece that you're selling and it's sold and somebody's going to come and pick it up and you go to just clean it and make it all, make sure it's all clean and pretty before it goes out. And then you notice there's a leg not painted and you're like, oh my gosh, they're on their way here. You're like, hey, take your time. No hurry. Oh, I hate it when that happens. Okay. So this is still a little, like I said, it's going to be a little bit splotchy. You can see where it's still wet, and as it dries, it'll soften up just a little bit, and it'll look more blended as it dries. Casey says, moving all over with the military, learning how to decorate from all different wives. Oh, how cool. That's really awesome. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's some people that are, I mean, like, my problem is I like a lot. Like, I love, like, the mid-century, retro vibe, like my couch is definitely a mid-century. I love that. But I do love some, newer things too. And I do love like farmhouse things too. We're in Ohio and I mean, I am personally surrounded by farms where I live. And I love decorating with like old antique pulleys and old vintage signs that I've found from local sales, like the authentic ones. So I love all that stuff, but I don't think I like to go overboard on one particular style. I really like the eclectic, just because I love so many different things, So let's see. Christine says, I've always loved the eclectic looks. However, always gravitate towards boho, shabby chic, gypsy styles. But that is the thing about all of those styles that you just mentioned. Boho, shabby chic, gypsy styles are all eclectic. Those are all eclectic styles. So it's not like people that are into like contemporary decor. It's strictly contemporary. It's strictly clean lines and just very precise shapes. There's not, a lot of times it's minimal, with that very contemporary, right? So, um, yeah, it has. Christine says, I think it's just evolved over the years. Yeah, my style has too. Kimberly is saying, I always have a ton of questions when there's no one around to ask. Of course, now I can't think of any. That's okay. Kimberly, I'll tell you what, if you think of a question later, especially on my YouTube channel, which you are on. I love it. Love to see all of you on my YouTube channel. It's awesome. Um, Make sure you come back and put your questions in, because on my YouTube channel, I pretty much can see all of the questions. It gets lost in Facebook land sometimes, but it seems more organized on YouTube. So if you have questions, just put it in whatever video it was, and I'll find it and I'll answer you. Okay. Casey says, I love antiques. I have a lot from Germany. Oh, I bet that's cool. Christine says, I love farmhouse look, more of like Magnolia. Yeah. Contemporary, don't like that for me. It doesn't evoke any emotion. Yeah. You know, it seemed like there was a time, like maybe I thought I liked contemporary, but I really didn't. But I didn't really. That was like when I was younger and I didn't know what, you know, what I liked back then. I just was like watching. What's the show? What is the show with the two guys and the? Oh shoot! It's on the tip of my tongue. It was very contemporaries back in the day. It was a show I wasn't supposed to be watching. Don Johnson was in it, you guys. I wasn't supposed to be watching that. I was sneaking it. And I was thinking I liked contemporary back then. Of course, I was still living at my mom and dad's. You guys think of that show? Athena says, being in high school in early 70s, eclectic piece that tells a story of love, notoriety, travel. Yes. I love that. Casey says, I love farmhouse, rustic, but pops of color. Yeah, me too, Casey. Yes, Christine, Miami Vice. Yeah, I wasn't supposed to be watching that. I wasn't allowed, but I did. So I was thinking that, you know, had to have the jacket and the shoulder pads and the big hair. All right. So this is it. So what I'll do, let me go grab it. I think she's pretty cute. She's got a lot of character. So I've got a clean rag now. And some of this, like the top of it, I can go ahead and start rubbing. It's probably, you can see it's starting to shine already. See that? That's where I buffed it. And it's got that nice, it's not going to be a glossy or anything, but it's just going to be a nice soft shine. And that's all I'll do next. Start buffing it. A lot of times I'll wait and I'll buff it in the morning. I'm just going to show you guys. It just has this beautiful kind of burnished kind of a feel to it. It's just gorgeous. And it shows that as the one thing that, you know, when people come in and they want to use the paint and they are only used to, you know, like house paints or regular paints, it's like they've never had like the chalky kind of paints before. These paints are made, they're formed and created so that you see movement and you see brush strokes. So that is the one thing that I try to let everybody know that are new to this, because, you know, because that's what, without all of the chunky layers and the brush strokes, the waxes wouldn't pop. So all of those brush strokes give a little bit of tooth for all the waxes to kind of hang on to, right? I got my style from you. Oh, you're funny. What, me? No, you didn't, girl. You're so funny. Maybe you did. I don't know. You're so funny. So anyway, cute. I'm loving it. I'll give you guys a close up here. See if I can get any of this to buff. It does take a little minute, you know, to get these finishes, but it's so worth it. And this will be a piece. I'm in my room every night. At the end of the night, I spend a couple hours or so. It's my me time, and so this will be right in the room with me every night. Let's see if I can give you guys a little close up. I wish I could flip the camera, but I can't because I'm using StreamYard. But let me see if I can hold it really still. And there we go. It's dreamy looking now, isn't it? And then I went all the way down this leg. I'm trying to go slow so I don't make anyone sick. And then we'll come around and show you this part. Just over there. Oops. I'm trying to look at the monitor. And there you go. And it will just slightly lighten a little tiny bit. As it dries, but that's pretty much going to be what it is. All right, any last questions? I hope you guys got a lot out of this, and I hope you guys give it a try yourself. Like I said, if you want to give it a try, I sell all of these wonderful products, so you can find it all on my website. If I remember, I'll try to post it in the comment or in the description for those of you over on YouTube, so you can easily find it. It'll take you right to what to use and where to find it and all the good stuff. Any last questions? Hello, Renee Cook. How are you, my friend? She says, so beautiful. Love this piece. It's a happy piece. Great little stand for books. Make a great charging station. Yes, absolutely. All right. Well, that's all she wrote, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you guys give it a try. If you have questions, just let me know in the comment section. All right. Have a great rest of your week. Tomorrow's Friday. So, all right. See you guys soon. We'll talk to you later. Bye.